All right, we've got some breaking news for you. You see British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak there outside number 10 Downing Street announcing a general election in the UK. Let's listen.
You met that challenge and then some, and I have never been prouder to be British. And when I introduced the furlough scheme, I did so not because I saw a country simply in need of desperate help, albeit we were, but because I saw a country whose future hung in the balance. I could be bold and trust in the tens of millions of you at home that you would rise to the moment, or I could accept the inevitable millions of job losses and pick up the pieces. In truth, it was no choice at all. I have never and will never leave the people of this country to face the darkest of days alone, and you know that because you've seen it. As I did then, I will forever do everything in my power to provide you with the strongest possible protection I can. That is my promise to you. Because for so many of us, it's easy to forget the scale of what we've been through. We were hit by a pandemic that upended normal life. Who would have thought that the government would ever tell us how many times a day we could leave our homes? Then, just as we were recovering from COVID, war returned to Europe, with Putin's invasion of Ukraine sending your energy bills spiraling. I came to office, above all, to restore economic stability. Economic stability is the bedrock of any future success, whether that is rising wages and good jobs, investment in our public services, or the defence of the country. And because of our collective sacrifice and your hard work, we have reached two major milestones in delivering that stability, showing that when we work together, anything is possible. Our economy is now growing faster than anyone predicted, outpacing Germany, France, and the United States. And this morning it was confirmed that inflation is back to normal. This means that the pressure on prices will ease and mortgage rates will come down. This is proof that the plan and priorities I set out are working. I recognise that it has not always been easy. Some of you will only just be starting to feel the benefits, and for some, it might still be hard when you look at your bank balance. But this hard-earned economic stability was only ever meant to be the beginning. The question now is how, and who do you trust to turn that foundation into a secure future for you, your family, and our country? Now is the moment for Britain to choose its future, to decide whether we want to build on the progress we have made or risk going back to square one with no plan and no certainty. Earlier today, I spoke with His Majesty the King to request the dissolution of Parliament. The King has granted this request, and we will have a general election on the 4th of July. This election will take place at a time when the world is more dangerous than it has been since the end of the Cold War. Putin's Russia is waging a brutal war in Ukraine and will not stop there if he succeeds. That war has also made it all too clear the risk to our energy security. In the Middle East, the forces of Islamist extremism threaten regional and ultimately global stability. These tensions are exploited by extremists who seek to undermine our values and divide our society here at home. China is looking to dominate the 21st century by stealing a lead in technology. And migration is being weaponized by hostile states to threaten the integrity of our borders. These uncertain times call for a clear plan and bold action to chart a course to a secure future. You must choose in this election who has that plan, who is prepared to take the bold action necessary to secure a better future for our country and our children. Now, I cannot and will not claim that we have got everything right. No government should. But I am proud of what we have achieved together, the bold actions we have taken, and I'm confident.
All right, a noisy day outside of 10 Downing Street as we watched UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak announcing a general election on the 4th of July. That is a bit of a surprise announcement that he had there. He said, "I have never and will never leave the people to face the darkest days alone." Really at issue there, the economy and inflation.
That's right. And you notice, because he is standing outside and the weather is very English at the moment, he's getting soaked. I would imagine the British press is going to have a field day with that, considering, his Conservative Party isn't doing well in the polls. Yeah. And he's really up against it at the moment, which is why he's having to announce this special election.
We're going to bring in now CBS News foreign correspondent Ian Lee. He's been following these developments for us from London. So, Ian, as Errol just mentioned, his party, the Conservative Party, which has been in power for the last 14 years, not doing so well right now. So what do we know about the timing of this election? And just to put maybe a fine point on it, according to The Guardian, the Labour Party is ahead by 20 points right now.
Yeah, it was interesting listening to Rishi Sunak talk there. You guys pointed out there were protesters outside 10 Downing Street. That was the noise that you were hearing. But this is a prime minister who really wanted to say that he is a safe pair of hands going into this election. Now, an election has to be held before the end of their 5-year term. So that means it has to be held by January of next year. But it is up to the prime minister to decide when there will be an election, what date that will be. Rishi Sunak likely got his cabinet together. They talked about it. That's when he made that decision. But there's a couple things when making this sort of announcement. First, he'll want to see how they'll contemplate how the opposition will respond. He'll want to put them at a disadvantage. He'll also want to take the mood of the country, what's happening in July at the time, what bills they can get through Parliament before that election. But as you pointed out, he is on the back foot at the moment, that the Labour Party is just trouncing them in local elections, and it's expected that the Conservative Party will lose really resoundingly in this next general election.
And just to give a sense, Ian, of the British attitude toward his party, he was preceded by Liz Truss, who had what is best described as a disastrous short 49 days as Prime Minister. I think the press was mocking her and saying she was outlasted by a cabbage, which was kind of a live look at a cabbage.
They did have that live look of the
that
cabbage.
lasted longer than the previous Prime Minister.
Yeah, they had that streaming there, that cabbage, yeah.
So generally speaking, what is the attitude there in the UK toward the Conservatives, and what opportunity does this provide for Labour, considering they're doing well in local polling right now?
I mean, frankly, it does look like Labour is going to win this next general election. They are going to be contesting 650 seats, and Labour is well ahead in the polls. And so that looks like we will have a Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. He is the head of the Labour Party. But the Conservatives are deeply unpopular. But they've been in power since 2010. That's a long time for any party to be in power. So you'll likely have kind of pushback to that, especially you had the pandemic, you had tough times with the economy, and that's something that Rishi Sunak was talking about, that he's been able to right the economy, get it out of recession, get growth in it, and cut inflation, things he'll want to champion on. But it has been a rough time, and just talking to people, they want fresh blood, they want fresh ideas, and so it really, Rishi Sunak, as you pointed out, Liz Truss, he took over from her. She had a disastrous time in office. Boris Johnson, also a very controversial prime minister. So he really was kind of not so much leading the ship, but kind of guiding it as it was sinking. A lot of people didn't believe that the Conservatives really could win the next general election. The polls suggest that they won't.
All right, Ian Lee, thank you.
Thanks, Ian.